never make it this far. They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like.
Welcome back to the Stuck in My Thoughts podcast. It's the place you want to be to hear a one-of-a-kind POV. As always, I'm your host, Justin Stuckey, and today's point of view comes from a Bama legend, a Super Bowl champion, a two-time Pro Bowler, and he is one of the analysts for the SEC Network and the SEC Nation. Welcome to the show, Roman Harper.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go,
Yeah.
Justin. I like it, dog.
How you been, man?
I've been good, man. I'm blessed, bro. Blessed, highly favored, honestly. Appreciate you coming to check me out, and I'm glad I had some time.
Yes, sir. So first off, before we get into all this, I saw you were at the Charlotte FC game, and you did the Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm a big WWE fan.
Oh, really? Okay.
Are you a wrestling fan?
So I don't watch it as much as I used to, but growing up, I was in the Stone Cold era.
Okay.
And so the funny thing is that, they asked me about it. So we had a couple people from my job, Brams and Hannah from the network, were like, hey, would you be interested in being the crown for the FC match? They're big into soccer. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, it seems cool. And I've been to a couple FC games. And so they asked me about it. I was like, yeah. So then as it got closer and I got closer, they were trying to make sure we're all good. Like, you come in, I got my kids, my wife, everybody. And I was just like, has anybody ever chugged a beer or something? They were like, I don't know. I don't think so. And I was like, I think I want to chug a beer.
Yeah, let me do that.
I want to do that. And they were like, I don't even know if you can do that, so we'll ask. I'm like, fine, whatever. So then they asked, they didn't say no. And so that morning of, I'm like, all right, Heather, I told my wife, Heather, I'm like, babe, I'm going to chug a beer. She's like, when's the last time you chugged a beer? I'm like, maybe a couple of years ago. She's like, well, you better get practice. You need to practice this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I go to one of my boys' crib, practice on chugging a beer or two, like how I'm going to do it. Because preparation is key.
It's key. Did you play the Stone Cold music while you were practicing?
We did not, but we recorded ourselves. His wife recorded us, and we watched the replay 2 or 3 times to make sure we were better at what we were doing. So we practiced multiple times. And so then when I got there, my wife told the lady hey, I think my son Roman's gonna chug a beer. She's like, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, and she was like, Heather was like, she said you can't chug the beer. It's like, she's supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. So I just slowly but surely carried him out there, sat him down, kind of put him to the side. Everything was good, played it nonchalant, and then when it was time, cracked him and freaking got after it.
It was epic.
It was epic. That's what I wanted to come across. And I felt really good because my son immediately was like, hey, Dad, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he never thinks anything I do is cool, so.
He felt a little.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So he felt the crowd, the love. And it was fun because I had a lot of people in Charlotte that were there at the game, and they literally were like, dude, we've never seen anybody do that at Charlotte FC.
Awesome.
So it was an epic one, and I'm cool with that.
Shout out to my boy Xavier. He's an in-stadium host there.
Oh, nice.
So I think he's the one who introduced you. And I immediately sent him the thing. I was like, bro, because we're both big WWE fans. I was like, that right there, one of one.
Well, it's funny because I had a homie of mine. He said that video just popped up on his Instagram. Mm-hmm. He's like, I know who you are, so I have no idea what's going on, but it looks like you're the king of somewhere and you are chugging beer, and I like it. I want to be a part of that kingdom.
It took me a second. I was like, is that Roman up there? Because I've seen people be sitting down, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is iconic.
Yeah, most people just kind of turn, wave, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do it, if I'm going to do hair, I'm going to put my foot off in it.
No boring stuff.
No, I don't do that.
You talked about Charlotte, and that's where you're located now, but let's going back to Bama. We're both Bama boys here. Back in Prattville, where your journey started for you, what was it like growing up?
So I was the youngest of 3 boys in the house, but we also had another brother that lived outside the house with my dad's son that was outside of the house. But so 3 boys in the house growing up, man, I was just trying to keep up with my older brothers. I have one brother, Ronnie, who's a great athlete, was 18 months older than me. So I literally, actually 15 months. So literally I was just trying to keep up with him all the time. And then from there, got beat up a lot, lost a lot, but I just always loved football and just loved, I had a great family environment, both parents, just very loving. And Prattville kind of small town, but you know a lot of people. It's not that small, but it's smaller. And dude, it was a great place to grow up. It's easy to raise kids there for the most part. It's not crazy violent or nothing like that. And my dad was a coach. My mom always, worked for the State Department of Transportation. So it's not like I ever went hungry. I didn't grow up on like the bad side of the tracks. It was good. But ultimately, though, I was just always just the younger brother, just trying to keep up with my older brothers the whole time.
You got to take your little brother with you.
Well, so my oldest brother was really cool about that. My brother Ronnie, who was right above me, not always cool about that. Didn't always want me around. So like junior high hit, he got real cool. I was the not cool younger brother. And it's crazy because like everybody looks at me now like, oh, that's Roman Harper. But when I was growing up, I was like, no, that's Ronnie's little brother.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just like, you just don't know where life's going to take you. And, in junior high, like I played football in Pop Warner and really had like some good years in Pop Warner, but that's Pop Warner. Mm-hmm. Then I got to junior high, 7th, 8th grade, like pretty much sat the bench and like didn't play for real. But I still loved the game, so I just kept at it because at that time, it's not like I'm thinking about college or NFL. That's not even on my mind or my radar. So then as you get older and progress, like things start to happen and you finally get your chance opportunities.
Yeah. When do you think it became the focus for you? It's like, I can do this at the next level.
In college. So for me, it was going into my senior year. It'd be cool, Justin, because these things kind of happened to me multiple times. It's like going into my senior year in high school. It was a summer, and it was like one of the newspapers, the Montgomery Advertiser, and they had like the top players in the area or whatever, and I was on the list, and they talked about like getting recruited and like he could go to like the best of the best, and I was like happened to be one of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, I didn't even know I was one of the best players in this area.
Yeah.
And it was talking like, all these guys getting recruited and everybody else had these lists of this, that, and the other. And I was just like, dude, I think I can go to college. Like, I was really excited about it. My brother just went off to Troy the year before. So I was like, I wanted to go to college because my parents always challenged all of us to get a scholarship in something. And so that was the goal. And when I saw that newspaper, that's when my mind like changed that. Mm-hmm. Okay. And after that, I actually went and got a custom tag for my car. The old school, like in the mall, you can get them spray painted. Yeah. Those spray painted ones. And I went to Montgomery Mall and I got one and it said R15 D1 Prospect. That was on the front of my car.
That's hard.
That was hard, bro.
That's hard right there. What do you remember about getting that offer? I don't know what it was like at that point in time. They send in mail, they call in.
Yeah, so you get letters. You got a lot of letters back in the day. Lots of letters. Yeah. And you had to fill out stuff. Like,
I don't know about that.
Like Arkansas will send you a paper, and then all of a sudden you like fill it out and like, oh, well, I'm kind of like, your name, kind of like this, that, and other. Mm-hmm. Harvard, Princeton, all these places were sending me letters. And then my first offer was Alabama. That's how backward stuff was back then. Like,
Dang.
That was my first offer was Alabama. Now it's opposite.
Yeah.
Like, all the little
ones first, then you get that big one.
Completely opposite. I didn't have any offers until Alabama offered me first. And so that summer before, my coach, Bill Clark, shout out to Bill Clark, great coach. Hopefully he gets back into it. Y'all maybe should holler at me from Auburn. But anyways.
Get it right, Hugh. Get it right, Hugh.
Put the pressure on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so literally, he told me I need to go to this football camp at Alabama. He said, you need to do it. You need to like get you out there because I didn't do any of that stuff. I just didn't care about it. My parents didn't see a lot of value in it, and he was like, you need to go to this camp. I want you to go to it and go play defensive back. And so I did that. Coach Charlie Harbison was there. He saw me. He really liked what I was doing or whatever. Came up, got my number, got my name, my information, and then from there, they contacted me some like throughout once the football season started. Mm-hmm. I played one game versus Stanhope Elmore, and I was playing quarterback and DB. So
yeah, how'd you get to QB and DB?
So I'm a DB. I've only played DB, and then my senior year, my coach was like, Bill Clark was like, well, I don't, like, if you want to play, I want you to play some offense, but like, I don't know if you play wide receiver, we're going to have anybody throw it to you. So you're going to play quarterback.
Had the ball in your hands.
Had the ball in your hands, and then you be the conductor. I was like, Coach, and it really started, I was like, I just want you to push our starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. He'd be good. He didn't have anybody behind him pushing him. So just like making some good competition. Then I was playing better than him. They were like, as a matter of fact, he out, you in. And it just kind of happened in training camp, like 2 weeks before the season. Like I was just playing DB, and then a couple weeks before the season, coach was like, I need you to like push him. And I took the job, and then from there, Stanhope Elmore, I like ran for like 2 touchdowns or threw for 2 touchdowns, and then ran for another one or whatever. And Alabama offered me that Saturday morning before their game. And that was my first offer. Then the next week, I had another decent game. Auburn offered me after that one. And then they just kept rolling after that.
What made you decide Bama?
Literally, I chose, so number one thing was that my mom asked me to stay within the state because my brother just went to Troy. And they like to go to all of our games. So I was like, okay. She's like, literally every school in the state has offered you. Just pick one. Because we weren't thinking like NFL, and like my mom and dad went to Alabama State, so like all these schools are bigger than where they were at. So just
You're
pick
already
one.
doing good.
Yeah, you're already good. Like this was what the goal was. You've already hit the goal. Let's just be happy and like we're blessed with it. I'm like, okay, cool. So it came down to Alabama and Auburn. I had a great time at Auburn. I actually liked Tommy Tuberville at the time. Good coach, questionable senator, but good coach. I don't vote in Alabama, so I don't have nothing to do with that. I do like Katie Britt though. She's good people. So anyways, so I chose Alabama over Auburn for 3 reasons. Number one, Alabama was Nike at the time. Auburn was Russell Athletic. And I had Russell Athletic in high school, so I wanted to upgrade.
Yeah.
All right, that was number
That's
one.
a big deal today.
That's a big deal.
Auburn's Nike now.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Tigers.
Yeah, they are, but that was a big deal to me. Like, I'm 18 years old. Like, that mattered to me. I wanted Nike. I wanted to upgrade. I had Russell Athletic in high school. Like,
is Russell even a thing anymore?
No, not for real. No, maybe in Target or somewhere else. But
and that's why.
Yeah,
keep going.
That was the big thing for me. The second thing was Alabama's colors looked closer to Prattville's colors than Auburn's did. So I didn't know how I looked in like the blue and the white and the orange. Mm-hmm. So it was like, and I kind of like how I look matters to me.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I'm kind of vain. So
he got J's all over this place.
Oh, yeah, I do. And so, like, that mattered to me. And then the third reason was I like the DB coach at Alabama better than the DB coach at Auburn. And he got fired the next year anyway. Crazy small story, but
his personality
Chris Thurman.
Or his.
He just acted. When I talked to him, he wasn't like overly enthused about me.
Yeah, that goes a long way.
And and so the first thing he's talking about is me redshirting and. Maybe I can get in at some point down the line. And Alabama's coach is like, we love you. This is where we can see you at. The vision was clearer.
Okay.
And Chris Thurman, shout out to him. He's at Oklahoma State. And he's still around the game. So, and I still talk to him all the time. And he talks to me all the time and texts me when he sees me on TV. And he used to come to my mom's house every week and eat her home-cooked meal. It was like, he just showing up eating, bro.
Yeah.
Just like every week, consistent for like 6 or 7 weeks straight. Like every single week, Coach Thurman was gonna be there.
Oh my God.
And was eating at the house, eating good. Just tell my mom how good her food is. Miss Princess, it was hilarious. But like he became part of the family, and that was why I chose Alabama over Auburn. I told you guys. I told the president of Auburn that one time. He's just like. Dang. But he's like, those are the little things that we think it's facilities. We think it's all these other things. And when it comes to 18, 19, 17-year-old kids, it's like that stuff.
Yeah. Do you talk to many of the athletes nowadays coming out of high school going into that? Because I don't even know what they're looking at nowadays. It's so different.
Yeah.
I know the first thing they're looking at is money.
They are looking at money. And I'll be honest, like, if you're chasing the bag or the money, you'll never truly achieve the highest of the high. You'll just be chasing the bag. And the bag's not always good for everybody, especially when you get it. And I also, like, when you get the bag, same thing in the NFL. It's like when you get the big contract, it comes with certain responsibilities, unwritten in the contract.
Yeah.
Like leadership, being on time. Like, we're counting on you to be attentive, take good notes. Be aware of the things that are going on in that. When you become the highest paid, other people in that room look up to you because you are the highest paid. And so those type of responsibilities come with the bag. And so if you chasing the bag too early, I've never seen it work out where that player still gets to
that
level because their mindset was not where it needed to be. Is where I tell every kid that I'm talking to, if you're coming out of high school, where do you see yourself having the most value at as a person? Be willing to pour into other areas of your life outside of the sport that you're playing, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, not just athletically. And where do you envision yourself at? And at the end of the day, I think it's something to be said about not transferring all over the place and sticking with a team, because when it's all said and done, when we all got to put our cleats up, you kind of want to have a home to go back to.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the most undervalued things out there is, like, having a home to go back to say, like, no, that's my school. I did this. These are my people.
Yeah, because I'm sure you feel real welcomed here
in
Tuscaloosa.
It's been crazy. Like, when I played here, we weren't even that good. And I knew everybody because I hung out a lot. Because, like, we weren't winning. So, like, I'm just going to do me, my campus lifestyle. That's what I call it. And it was really fun. I had a blast. I didn't have Nick Saban, who's like runs it with an iron fist. I had a looser regime. So, like, I went to class sometimes, not all the time, but like most times. Like, I passed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that was what I learned in school, is like how to find ways to win and getting things done and still having fun, and really ultimately kind of figuring out who Roman is as a person. And I think that's what you do in college. You make mistakes. You do a lot of things, and you grow as a person and as a young male. And so it was just really fun for me. I love my time here, and whenever I get to come back, it's so much love. And it also helps that I made a couple big plays when I was here, so that helps too.
What do you feel like you learned about yourself as a person throughout your time?
That ultimately, like my normal confidence in just who I am is good enough. You know, that like I don't have to try and pretend to be somebody else, or that, you know, you get here and like when I first got here, like I had my high school girlfriend who's now my wife. And so like when she finally broke up with me, I had no game. Like no game. And so like that was another thing, is like I had no game. I was just a small kid from Prattville. I was very skinny. And so you have to eat, you have to grow. I also learned very fast in my DB room that, dude, I'm not the best at anything in here. Like, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the best at anything. So how am I going to separate myself? And so what am I going to do about it? Am I going to just pout? Am I going to give up? No, like, all right, well, I got to go to work. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was the thing that really started helping me in building the engine that became who I was that I know that, like, okay, I got to go to work. And then after that, I start chopping it down a little bit, getting a little bit better, putting on some pounds, like doing the little things day in and day out that helped me get better as a player. And then off the field, just continue to be around more and more of my teammates. And then that's when I learned, like, okay, I can be confident that, you know, from getting the attention from being a football player, like, that's cool, but, like, ultimately, is that truly what you truly want? I mean, at that time, that's probably all I wanted.
Yeah.
But as I've matured in life, like, you know, I've gotten better, and I don't put as much value into those things as I used to.
What's up right there? You mentioned your wife, and you guys started dating back in high school. And I was going to ask you this question because I saw you were hanging out with the Rizzler. I was going to ask you if you had any Riz. I heard that you stayed, or you were late to class to meet her. Can you give us a story?
So yes. So this was in high school. I don't even know how you remember this.
I do my research.
You did. That's good. Hey, guys prepared, man. I knew he was going to be prepared, though. So she moved to my hometown. So my wife is Native American. She was born in California, lived in Florida for like a year or two when she was a baby, and then kind of was raised on the Indian reservation in South Dakota where her mom's from, right? So she moves from the reservation in South Dakota to my hometown in Prattville because her mom's husband's parents or something live in Prattville, like in the boonies, but small world, like this is how it happens. And so at the time in Prattville, it was pretty much it was like 65-35 white to black population in the school, but mostly just white to black, very few Spanish, Latino, like very few other. Mm-hmm. And then when she comes, She looked way different than anything in my high school. So my brothers, I remember I was just a little brother.
Yeah.
So my brother's, one of his best friends at the time was like, yo, like, hey man, it's this new girl in school, bro. We gotta go see her. I'm like, dude, I got class. Man, come on, man.
Forget class.
Man, book class, bro. We can be late. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's go. So we go down, we go to the gym, and we meet her. Like, oh, this is the new girl, blah, blah. Because my boy Ron knew, well, my brother's boy Ron, like, knew the other people that she was with, whatever. And in all honesty, I love my wife. She's beautiful, but at the time I thought she was all right. You know what I mean?
She was,
she's all right.
She just knew.
She was just new. And so I was like, I mean, she's all right. Like, she's good. My boy, like, Ron was like, man, she bad at it. I'm like, she's all right. And then the funny thing is that we became friends, that we hung out in a lot of the same circles. She was an athlete. She played basketball. She ran track. She did a lot of other things. And so really smart girl as well. And I just loved who she was. And so we started dating actually when she was in 9th grade. I was in 10th grade. Then she broke up with me because that's what you do in high school.
Yeah.
And then we got back together like a year or so later in high school. We dated from high school, then she to college. And we broke up when I was going to college because she's like, you know, you're going to see all these college girls. You know, it's okay. Like,
were y'all the same year or she?
No, she's 1 year younger than me.
Okay.
So I get to college and she's like, we're going to, you know, you go do you. You're going to want these college girls. You're not going to want the high school girlfriend anymore. So it was what it was. And I'll be honest, I did shed a tear, straight up. And
real men cry. It's okay.
It's okay. It is okay. I'm able to admit that because I got daughters and kids now, so it's all good. So then I go to college. I'm there for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, let's just be together. So then me and her, we stayed dating through college, and then she came to Alabama the next year, and we were dating through then, and then we broke up on my 21st birthday. Not like that I'm keeping count or remember, but
whoa.
Yeah, it was a real deal thing.
What a birthday gift.
I know. Well, she broke with me because me and my boy Pep, my roommate, Charlie Pepper, shout out Pep, he knows I like to drink and have fun in college, so he got the party going for me early. Then we went out. She was doing finals, so she didn't go out. She was gonna get up with me later. Then we had like a house party after it. It still got really late. She went over there. There's a lot of girls and all kinds of people over there. She got mad. We broke up. And then once she broke up, I was like, I think I like being a single athlete on Alabama's campus.
Yeah.
Because I never did that before. And then that's what I did until I was in year 6 or 7 of the NFL.
How was that?
I would say it was glorious. It was fun to not be committed, truly committed. Mm-hmm. You know, I had some girls I dated, but I wasn't committed like that. And I think it's okay. My wife, she did her thing and was dating other people. I did my thing, dated other people. I think it's good to, you know, live life and see what life has to offer. You know, I went from getting drafted in New Orleans. I tore my ACL my rookie year and got to see a lot of the city because I wasn't playing. And so I got to hang out, and New Orleans is a great place to hang out. And then finally getting back healthy and playing. And then, you know, I just got to experience a lot. You know, I won a Super Bowl in Miami. That was fun. That's the best place to win a Super Bowl, to be honest with you. Most people don't think about this, but when you win a Super Bowl, Justin, you got to understand, like, by the time you get out of the game, it's like 11:30, 12 something at night. And so a lot of places, when they close at 1:45, 2 o'clock, that's not where you going. Miami don't close. So
I know. I went on my friend's bachelor trip in Miami. Shout out Tiger. But man,
shout out Tiger.
I didn't go to sleep.
I'm telling you.
I went straight from the club to the airport. And my friends that know me, if you get me out, it's on a rare occurrence. And I was having a great time.
Yeah, it's easy to have a great time there. And so it was like, and at that time, like, I had all my boys from like high school.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a girl that was with me or anything. And so all my boys from high school were there for the game. My parents, my brothers. It was just like us. And it was great. And so being able to do that, then living in the off season in LA, and I'd rent a place out there in the hills, and that was like my off season training. But I also got to hang out. So like seeing that the West Coast side of the world, totally different out here. That's also where I gained a lot of confidence too, because
In the West Coast?
on the West Coast,
Yeah.
they like me out there, so it's real easy. And so, but then I also going to London as an NFL player, and when you go to London as an NFL player, they're not used to, like, American black men look different than European black men.
Mm-hmm.
European black men look a little bit more African than here in America. So it's just like different swagger, different everything. As far as like when you go to these different places and seeing the whole world, when you're just a 20-some-year-old single guy with money.
Yeah.
Even when I went back to school, because I came back to school and got my degree.
Shout out to you, because a lot of people need to do that and don't do that. I've only been to the West Coast. Well, I've only been to L.A. once. Did my UCLA visit, and I actually took a visit to Alabama. And kind of a funny story, it was the Ole Miss-Bama game 2021, and I'm sitting in the stands, and here comes Roman Harper, and you sit like maybe 3 people down.
No
from
way.
Me. And I'm like this, me and my dad, I'm like, dang, that's Roman Harper. Because when I was like 10 or 11, it was Cam's first year, and they played the Saints in New Orleans. It was a New Year's Day. And I went to the game, and I don't know if it was before the game, but y'all had y'all's helmets off or something. And I was like, who's the guy with the gray hair? And I started going through the thing. I'm like, oh, this is Roman Harper. And I still got it at home. I don't know why I didn't bring it, but that's a little flashback. So if you guys can't tell, I was really excited to do this sit down, little flashback moment. But for you going through that time from the high school to college, early dating, going through a little bit to your career, what made you guys come back together?
Okay, I'll tell you, being 1,000 with you. So literally, I'm in LA, and I literally have everything I've ever wanted in the world, and I felt the most empty I've ever felt. I'm renting a house in the hills. It's a multi-million-dollar house, and I'm being with this girl or that girl, and it's everything I ever thought, from like, being able to get with like a Lakers girl, or then all of a sudden getting with like another basketball team's girl. And like, I'm living the life. I'm the highest paid player in my position in the NFL, and I feel empty. And so at that point, I stopped trying to do whatever I'm doing, and I really started doing a lot of praying for the first time probably in a long time, and trying to figure out what does God want for me? Like I thought this is what I wanted my whole life, and I feel terrible. Mm-hmm. Like I'm just very, very empty on the inside. And so I'm out at a dinner. I feel like I was around, like just in a dark place. And I'm praying, and I'm just like I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. And what do you want? What am I supposed to do? And I felt like for the first time I heard God ever talk to me. This is the only time I've ever heard him speak to me. And he told me I need to go get my girl. And I said, what girl? It's like, Heather? He's like, yes. And so that night I went back home. I called her. She actually answered the phone. And we started talking. I started to try and get back with her and try and talk to her and rekindle some relationship, because we were not like that at all. Like, we didn't talk for many years, and then we actually started becoming friends again. But there's like, I would not let it turn physical, because emotionally I couldn't do that, because I think she had me since I was young, so it was just different. And so I could keep those things separate with others, but with her I felt like I couldn't, so I didn't do that. And starting to trying to date her again. And then we started, hooking up, and she ended up being pregnant, which actually was the best thing that saved our lives, because I was not the man I needed to be at the time. I was still a work in progress. And so, but her, she wanted to continue to give me another chance, because she grew up without her father, and she knew how important that was and how much that messed her up. And I grew up with both of my parents and my father, and I knew how important that was as well, so I was willing to work at it too. And so instead of us just, when we have a fight, like, oh, you know what, you go do, and we continue to work at it, and we stuck through it. And that's why we call my oldest daughter the glue, because she kind of like kept us together. And now we're great, and been married now for 10 plus years. And so it's been awesome, but like, it was a grind early, because, that's how we rekindled, and I had to work at it, because I did not know how to be like a good man. Like I had always been just a selfish dude, and like you're okay. Like I'm like if I'm paying for this or like I don't want to hear that, and that's not what a real man is or does. It's a certain level of respect on both ways. It's love, respect, it's encouragement, it's nurturing, and so I've learned to be a better man, and I applaud myself for the growth and what it took to like be faithful and take that real step and make sure that every decision that I make is respectful to my wife and my children and everything I'm trying to build with them.
How much humility did it take for you to be able to pick up the phone, number one, or just like that worriness? Because, I mean, you talked about you heard God speak to you once. I feel like I've heard God speak to me once like that before as well.
Uh-huh.
That's a story for another day, but being obedient is huge.
Yeah.
What was the tug and pull of like, no, and then finally being like, okay, let me pick up the phone?
So immediately I did it. It was, to me, I think the obedient part came after. It was like, look, if God tells you to get on this path, how long are you going to get off the path? Like, they walked 40 years in the desert before they got to the promised land. Are you willing to go 40 years? Are you willing to go? Or you think it's like, oh, it's time to give up. Mm-hmm. Like, how far are you willing to go? So for me, that was big for me, is just continue to just like, okay, if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, like, just stay on the path. Like, it's okay, you know. And I learned this from a girl that I met and dated in college. She's like, the advice she got from somewhere, and I think it's awesome. It's like, every day, make sure you try and love the one that you're with. So for me, that's been big. And then this off season has been a really big thing for me because, like, I've continued to read, and learning how to choose your own happiness is key. And so, like, you can't make somebody else happy if you're unhappy with yourself. And ultimately, when bad things happen to you, which is going to happen to everybody, you recognize the action, you forgive it for trying to mess up your space. But, like, I want to be a high volume person. And whenever I come into a room, I want to be able to pick up this room and where the volume, not the volume, but the just high volume, whatever. But high, it literally just came to me. Anyways, but I just a high frequency person, right? So I want to get off good energy, and ultimately I still get to make the choice to be happy. Like, I know things are happening, but I still get to make the choice to, like, you know what, I know, but I'm going to choose to be happy and continue to stay on this high vibrationals. That's what it is, high vibrations.
Vibrationals.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So that's what I wanted to do. And, you know, just being committed, you know, I made mistakes, but then it's also like accepting that, and then just also like, man, like knowing that God still got my back. Like, I'm still here. I'm still achieving. I'm still very young and still trying to grow. I'm in this place of growth still.
Mm-hmm. There's always different seasons of life, and you used the word commitment. You were committed to the game for a long time. Saints, Panthers, back to the Saints for last year. During that time, what do you feel like you were able to learn the most as far as what you could provide to the game? Because you said, I'm not the fastest guy, I'm not the strongest guy. What do you feel like you brought to the table most, so that way when you played your final game, you can look back and say, this is what I brought?
Number one, I think I was an excellent teammate. I think I'm a great teammate, number one. And I root for guys. Number one, I'm going to play hard. Effort will never be a question. I love to compete. That's why I played the game. It's for the physicality and the competition. I love competition. I told you since I was young, I just trying to keep up with my older brothers. Yeah. Like, I love competition. So for me, that was a big thing. And then when I walked away, I think the ultimate compliment that I could ever receive was that when you knew Roman Harper was around, they would say, he's a pro. Dude's a pro. That means I'm going to be on time most of the time. But I'm going to be in the playbook. I'm going to make sure I get guys lined up right. I'm going to do my job, and you can trust me that I'm going to be in the position that I'm supposed to be every single time. And of course you get beat sometimes, that's ball. But I'm gonna be where I'm supposed to be at, and I'm gonna be locked in and engaged. And so for me, just being a pro was ultimately like what I wanted to do. And I think it's cool that, like, I saw guys that I helped kind of teach the ropes, because the guys taught me the ropes. Mm-hmm. And being able to pass the game on to the next one is so important. And just like how to be a player, like what the game is all about and how to play the game the correct way as far as like where your eyes are at, what are you thinking here? When you're in this position, how should you do and what should you react on? And like being able to teach that to another player and then they go out there and play really well as well is always a great place to be. I love that about my what I got to do in my career.
With having so much success, you have to have other guys who are pros around you. And I think it's become less of a debate, but I hear it a lot. Everybody says Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. Fair point with all the rings and everything, but a lot of people put Drew Brees up there as well as far as like pure quarterback talent. What do you think made him so great?
His accuracy, his work ethic, his attention to detail. When he got with Sean Payton, dude, I mean, they were lights out. And Drew, look, I saw Drew like practice a whole game after practice. Like he would literally on Friday, he'd be in the indoor by himself for hours, just play action, doing the whole script, the whole play script, what they were going to have, just visualizing. And then me and him would have certain bets in the weight room because I was a big weight room guy on Friday.
Yeah.
And so we'd have certain bets. After he'd do all that, just me and him be the last ones in there. And just like those things. But he's also the first one in the building. And so the work ethic, the attention to details, his accuracy, his ability to be able to adjust and also continue to try and be a leader. For you to play that long, you're in different generations. You know what I mean? He's like 38, 39, 40. When you're trying to be on the same level or lead a 21-year-old, listen to a completely different type of music with a completely different type of vibe. So like understanding that point. And I would never forget because when I went back to New Orleans, you know, I had spent 2 years in Carolina and we were really good that last year in Cam's MVP year. And Drew asked me one time, like, what was like the biggest thing that you learned? And I said, you know, Drew, honestly, I went to Carolina with like this one opinion of like what a quarterback's supposed to be. And it was you. The way you did things, your approach, like. And then I went and played with Cam and I learned it's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
Because they're not the same.
Completely different.
Completely different, right?
But impact.
But I've never seen a player more impactful for a whole team than Cam Newton. When he comes out at practice, he dancing, he doing his thing, he grooving. Oh, we're going to have a good day. Right? When he's not in the same mood, a little down, probably not going to be as good of a practice. But I saw him locked in and engaged. And Cam was this infectious leader and personality in the locker room. And I was like, dude, let me tell you what I learned was that was one thing. And the other thing is that, man, you got to learn how to get on their level if you want to be a leader of men. First of all, you got to show that you love them or care about them a little bit more, because if you do that, they'll go to the end of the world for you when they know you care about them. But you got to get on their level. So you can't be up here telling them, hey, we need to like pick it up. You got to go down there, meet them where they're at, and then they'll climb with you.
So I like to hear that because Cam, it's gone away a little bit now, but when he was trying to get in that phase of he's going to return to the league and stuff, he said it a lot. Nobody ever questioned him being a bad teammate. And I think the owners, the league, whoever, just had a certain perception of him. But I love Cam Newton.
No, let me tell you what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is, okay? Cam can't be a backup in the NFL.
Too big?
He's too big. He's bigger than your starting quarterback. So you're going to come out there, you're like, I think I like that one better.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's natural. He's got big personality, and you don't want your backup quarterback with big personality.
No, you want them just
I need them lesser than the starting quarterback, right? Because starting quarterback doesn't play well, we're going to go ask Cam, well, what is he doing wrong? And Cam's just going to answer the question. All right? You also don't want your backup quarterback dressing way cleaner and all this other stuff than the starting quarterback. It's just perception is reality until you change it. Learned that from Coach Ron Rivera. He would say it all the time. And that's the perception. And so most locker rooms are not strong enough or confident enough to keep a player like Cam Newton on their team as a backup quarterback because his star just shines too bright and he'd outshine your starter.
Big personality. Shout out Cam. He just got his jersey retired.
I know. That's why Auburn should have won the game. They had everybody there. Charles Barkley was there. Frank Thomas was there. Everybody was there.
Justin Stuckey was there.
Justin Stuckey was there.
And I was sitting there so disappointed. But it's okay.
My boy Knox was there. Sorry.
Yeah, it just, shout out to you, Cam. But I was just curious to have the point of view of somebody being in that locker room. It's good to hear that you can say you can have quarterback A, quarterback B. They can figure out a different way to get there, but they can both.
It really taught me that. Because I had this one opinion, and then it really changed me and opened my eyes that it's more than one way to skin a cat, period. And like I would say that for a lot of positions and a lot of players. It's not just this one singular look that you got to have. It's a lot of things that are just undefined. And like Drew didn't have the best arm, but it was good enough.
Yeah.
And he threw with great timing, anticipation, accuracy. Cam had a freaking cannon.
Yeah.
And he was bigger than his offensive lineman blocking for him. So
it's a big dude.
It's just, it's different.
Have you ever met somebody and then after you meet them, you'd be like, dang, I should have said this or I should have did that? That was my interaction with Drew Brees. I met Drew Brees in the green room at the Final Four. I was covering the Final Four. And it was like, Drew was going to be a special guest on the set. And so I knew he was going to be in the green room. I was like, bet. I've heard about Drew Brees' legendary dap-ups. I've seen the videos and everything. So I'm picturing this, right? I'm like, oh, it's my time. Get up there. And he's like, I was like, what's up, Drew? He's like, what's up, man? And I'm going for this. And he goes in like that.
So you got to adjust.
And I adjusted, shook his hand, great conversation. But afterwards, I was like, dang, next time I meet you, I'm doing a dap. I'll be like, don't give me the formal handshake.
So I learned this. I do a podcast, NFL Players Second Acts podcast. You guys check it out if you want. It's really good. Me and Peanut Tillman. And we interviewed Congressman Colin Allred out of Texas. Mm-hmm. And Peanut had this great question because I had never really think of this, but he was like, so like, what do you guys do? Because like, happens to you senators and Congress guys all the time. Like, you meet different delegates and people and all these other, like, you go like this and then somebody offers you a hand. Like, how do you adjust? He said, he gave the best answer. I've never heard it broken down like this. He said, look, I always just respond to what they show. Like, because you'll get white guys and black guys that'll dap it up. Mm-hmm. He said it's all in the elbow. So if the elbow's up here, oh, it's a dap.
They know.
But if it's here, it's always just a handshake. So it's all in here. It's like if it's up here, we good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I got you.
So it's all in the elbow.
I met John Cena once.
Met
him
nice.
this summer. And yeah, you can't see me, greatest wrestler of all time. Stamp it.
I would not agree with that, but go ahead.
It's okay. That's a debate for another day. Cena, I saw him already coming out like this, but I remember Drew Brees. And I said, Cena's my GOAT. I'm not doing that. And he followed me.
Yeah.
And I went just
you
like
went up.
that.
You went up. That's the thing.
Cleanest dap echoed in the entire building. So I learned. In your time as a professional athlete, how much did you think about life after ball while you were in it?
I didn't. I was just a ball player. I kind of like regret that a little bit at times, but it also probably allowed me to play for as long as I did because I was that's all I cared about was just ball. Look, football has been my first love since I was in fourth grade. Well, since I was a kid. I started playing in fourth grade, and I literally kept playing football until I was 35, almost 36 years old. So from fourth grade on, it's like it's just a long time. That's all you know. You get the playbook. I'm getting ready for August, right? Every single year. This is what I do. And why would I be worried about doing anything else? Because this is what I do. And my coach, Joe Vitt, linebackers coach in New Orleans, would always say, if you handle your business, if you take care of business, business is going to take care of you. So that was just my mindset. I'm gonna take care of my business because it's gonna take care of me monetarily, family, everything. So I didn't think about it. And when I retired, I literally took 365 days and did absolutely nothing to decompress. Because I'd been playing football since fourth grade. So what was I like without playing football? I didn't know who that person was. And so I felt like I needed time to get to know that person. That I got the advice from GM Mickey Loomis of the New Orleans Saints that sometimes if you can afford it, you should take time to decompress, like what veterans do when they come back from wars. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to get out of that, then see who you are. Yeah. And I took that advice, and that's what I did.
Did you ever get in a funk when you're sitting there for that 365?
Not really, because like whatever I didn't do that day, I just did it the next day.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'll just do it tomorrow. It's all good. Like I just was never in a hurry.
Yeah.
I went to a lot of lunches with my wife. I'm like, so this is what everybody be doing. Huh?
Yeah.
This is nice.
I ain't gotta wear no sweaty helmet.
No, nothing. And and everybody's like, you want to work out? You want to run? I'm like, no. I did work out though. I still work out, but it was just I didn't really get in a funk because I went out the way I wanted to go. Like I didn't have a lot of desire to continue to play.
Yeah.
I wanted to retire after my 10th year because I thought we'd win a Super Bowl in 2015 with Carolina Panthers, and I'd ride off into the sunset. Because I only wanted to play 10 years, and because that's what a guy told me. My boy Mike Orenstein, who just passed away a couple years ago, when I was at the Playboy All-American thing when I was in college. They're like, dude, if you're good, you can play 8, 9, 10 years maybe. You keep your head on straight. That was all I knew. Mm-hmm. So then from there, I was like, bro, I just want to go play in the league. Now I'm going to play 10 years, and I'm good. It was year 10, win a Super Bowl, ride off into the sunset. It's great. Well, we lose the Super Bowl. I was like, I just don't think God let me play this game this whole long, and the last piece of football I have is a loss in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks. So I just started working out again, and then Saints called me. I was like, yeah, I want you to come back, which is funny because I left. I told my agent, I was like, I think I want to play another year, but the two places I don't want to go to is Atlanta and New Orleans. I don't want to go back to New Orleans. I didn't leave on good terms. I wasn't in a good place. And then Sean Payton started calling me, and my wife was like, he treating you like an old boyfriend. Don't be letting him call you, trying to sweet talk you back in. Don't go. We not going. Yeah. I'm like, it's kind of, and it was the best thing I did.
Mm-hmm. You think it was good? You mentioned earlier about having a place to go back home to with all the transfer and stuff. Do you feel like after that year was much needed to smooth everything? I see you go back and have a good time.
Yeah, it was definitely necessary to let bygones be bygones, to let them see like, you know what, we should have kept you. Mm-hmm. We kind of messed that up.
That's so nice.
We messed that up.
Yeah.
So for them to say that, and then for me to forgive as well, and just like, you know what, like I appreciate that, and let it all go away, and then now just being a quote unquote legend down there and be up in in the Saints Hall of Fame and all the other things that come with it. It's just been really cool to be able to like have a home to come back to, and I'll never forget in 2014. Coach Ron Rivera, I'm in Carolina, and Coach Ron Rivera like wrote me a letter and put it in my locker and just thanked me for being who I was on the team and like how much like I had impacted them, and just they were just surprised and just so happy to have me. And I thanked him for it, and he was like, look, he said, I'll tell you like this. He said, you should have been a player that was with one team for your whole career, but I'm glad you're here now. But just know that they miss you. They've told me they miss you.
Yeah.
And you should have been with them the whole time, but I'm glad you're here with us. So, and that meant a lot too, man. So like those are the things that I ultimately appreciate. Like I couldn't tell you about any tackle. I don't care about no interception, but like the relationships that I got out of football to me is what I cherish the most, because that's what it gave me. It gave me friends for a lifetime. It gave me opportunities, experiences to see the world like back and forth, all because of a game that I loved since I was a little kid and was talented enough to do it and cared enough to put all my energy and effort into it.
I love to hear that and talk about the relationships on the field, but I feel like the biggest and the most rewarding relationship for you now is the relationship with your kids. What do you feel like has been the most rewarding part about fatherhood? Because I love watching the videos of you and your kids.
Thank you. It's just seeing them grow up, and, they come from the same parents, and they're all so different. And just like seeing them grow into their own little personalities, their own people. And, my wife and I are committed to pushing them into the same thing that my parents did with me, is that all you guys are going to get a scholarship in something. I don't care if it's academics, but you're going to go do something. Mm-hmm. And so they're all starting to get into their own little paths. They got their own little friend groups. It's just really cool seeing them kind of grow into their own little people, and they have their own personalities. Like my oldest, London, she's just a natural sweetheart. And, but she is she has to be pushed differently than some of my other kids, right? She has to be encouraged. She also has to try things before she like does it. She can't just go run and jump. She's like, well, how do you? She's like thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to tell you, just go do it.
Yeah.
She's not that. Then I got my younger daughter. She just watches and she just does. She doesn't need any encouragement. She's like, as a matter of fact, don't talk to her. And she's got a lot of her, so she looks mostly like me, my younger daughter. She looks more like a Harper than any of my other kids. But she's so much like her mom. And her butt heads because they're the same.
Yeah.
Like, Sydney's like, yeah, I don't need no hugs. I don't need none of that. Kisses before, nah, don't touch me.
Yeah.
I don't need none of that love stuff. Just let me do me. And she's a great athlete. She's probably my best natural athlete. So she's great. And then my older son, Roman, the second.
I like little Roman.
Oh, dude, he's the most overconfident kid I've ever seen in my life. Dude ain't did nothing, but he's so confident.
Little swaggy.
Super swaggy. All he wants to do is throw a football all the time. And he just wants to do like all the Justin Jefferson moves, the Dad, I'm Jay Jetta, Yeah. That's all he wants to do. He wants to dance. He wants to do all the celebrations, that's all he cares about.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool to see that. And then, like, he's just so confident. And I love that for him because I was not that confident of a kid. And so for him to be that confident, it's going to go far for him because, I love being around kids or players that probably ran a 4.6 or a 4.5. But thought they ran a 4.4 or 4.3. Like, I like that kid. That kid gonna be all right. Cause he's confident.
Yeah.
He's gonna make some plays because in his mind, like, he's playing basketball. He's like, Dad, I'm just wet. Like, I'm like that. I'm like that. I'm clutch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, dude. So I like that about him. And then my baby boy Soul, he's 5, but he just loves to be around his older brother. And I was once that little brother that loved to be around his older brother. And a new talent that he has is that we play board games at my house. And this board game called Blockus. Hopefully some of your viewers have seen it.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's a pretty good board game. And Soul is the biggest trash talker in the house. Oh, he talks cash money during these games. And he's 5. He's like,
I love it.
Oh, you don't know how to play your move? You dumb. I was like, okay. And he's just always talking trash. And I did not expect a 5-year-old to know how to talk that much trash. And he's really good at it. And every day, like every other couple of days, we have a nightly burn session where him and my younger daughter, Sydney, are roasting each other. And he does pretty good at it. Like,
hold his own, yeah.
Holding his own for a 5-year-old, he's pretty good. And so he's got that hidden talent. He gets that from his mom.
Hashtag Soul Brother.
Soul Brother, yes.
Soul Brother.
That's it. Hashtag Soul Brother.
All right, Roman. Winding down here on Stuck in My Thoughts, and I ask every guest that comes on, what do you get stuck in your thoughts about?
Honestly, it's having the ultimate confidence to do. I learned something from one of my pastor friends a couple months ago, and I wrote it down on my mirror in my bathroom, because that's like my goals that I always have in front of me. It's that, like real true faith, right? The definition of faith is believing in something that you cannot see, cannot touch, cannot feel, right? That's faith, believing in whatever that is. But real true faith takes action. Faith without action is dead. It's not faith, because you got to act on it. So like having these goals, these actions, but not acting on what my mind is telling me or having the confidence to do it, that's what I get stuck in my mind about. Like, ooh, can I? Should I? Instead of like, just do. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm much better when I was a football player when I just did. Because my dad all the time, when he was my coach, would be like, what were you doing? I was like, well, stop thinking. Why are you thinking? You just got to play. Yeah. You just got to do. So for me, it's continue to be in that mode that I'm just doing. And don't get so caught up on, can I get this? Like, should I? Just do, and then have the support of everybody, but be smart, but, getting out of my own way in that way. And understand, like, dude, like, I've gotten pretty far. Like, God's had my back pretty good. Like, look at me. And, but he ain't leaving me yet if I just hold the rope like I'm supposed to. And so that's been the only thing that I would say I get stuck in my head about.
I like that. You got to just do. I like that because
just do.
I've been in that boat before.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to jump.
It's hard, you know, especially when sometimes you haven't done certain things. You don't know how to approach this certain person. So mentally, we can kind of get caught up in those things. Instead, it's just like, man, dude, like, man, just do it. Just go. And just do. And I would encourage you to do that. You know, I've talked to you when you were at Auburn. You were just hanging around the set. And I was like, man, look, bro, you're a nice-looking young brother, man, doing your thing. You got great personality. Man, just put yourself out there. Like, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to be being uncomfortable by doing that. And for me, I still try and get to that point when I'm doing my TV and my phases, is like challenging myself to be a little bit more uncomfortable in those spaces, because ultimately, like, that's going to be the best version of myself. And that's when you really, truly have growth in life, is when you get out of your comfort zone.
Appreciate that, man.
No doubt, man. You're talented, dude.
Thank you.
You're a talented brother, so keep doing your thing, bro.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Yeah, man, you can take my job. Just once my kids got out of high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lastly, we kind of talked about this before, but I started doing this as well. Who in your network should I bring on the show next?
You know, Jordan Rogers is probably really good. Marty Smith is amazing. McGee knows everything.
Shout out McGee. I talked to him downstairs.
Yeah, McGee is like a historian of like everything. And he's so talented because he's a writer. Like, him and Marty are writers. So their words are like, and vernacular are outstanding. Me, I still like talk with a whole bunch of slang and just, you know, just doing my thing, you know what I mean? But these guys are outstanding at what they do. And they know so much. And McGee is super talented because he still writes up like the Super Bowls and all these, like the games for ESPN. Because like when you look back in time, you have to be able to like say like what happened. You can't just go on the phone and always just depend on somebody telling you.
Yeah.
So
no ChatGPT.
Yeah. You have to go back and look and read it out and see what the score was or this, that, and the other. And so he's one of those guys that's true believer in those things. And so they got great stories. To me, I would say one of those 2 or 3 guys. I would love to hear Jordan's more of his kind of upbringing and growing up as well. Yeah. Because he's got a very unique story and path and journey to be able to achieve and do what he's doing now and be in this, you know, America TV heartthrob that everybody loves and loves him and JoJo's relationship. And like, it's just crazy to me because like, I'm like the least famous person on my set. And like I was the best baller out of all of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like, I like where I'm at though. Yeah. Like I don't have to try and explain or like put myself up to anybody, but just on everybody else's eyes because of, you know, Tim being who he is, Laura's on like 8 different shows, Feinbaum being on TV for all these years and all these hours every week. Mm-hmm. And then you got Tim Tebow who accomplished so much and is still out here speaking to the world and changing the world with his foundation and all these other things. And so me, I'm just retired football player, dad on the side, doing some TV football talking. So it's been fun because I like to fly under the radar and it's been great and I really enjoyed the space. But yeah, I mean, you should talk to any of these guys. They're way more famous than me.
Oh my goodness. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time. What's the saying? What's understood doesn't need to be explained.
No doubt about it.
And I appreciate you sharing your story, man.
No doubt, man. Appreciate it, man. Nice meeting you and talking to you as always. You're awesome. You're so talented, dude. Like, keep doing your thing.
I will. And y'all make sure y'all go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next guest. We out.
Also leave a comment.
I thought I said like, comment, subscribe.
You did? Okay, you did. Okay. Yeah. That's important.
Comment.
Yeah, for sure.
We out.
Whoa. Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy.